And I am getting, oddly enough, because I thought this had enough calcium in it, looks like blossom end rot. I'm going to actually have to pick this, but I left this on here so I could show you. There's 3 of them. Hello, howdy, and welcome back to another plant update. I'm Catherine, and I'm the Aerogarden homesteader. And I was just looking at the calendar because I was curious to see how many weeks it's been, and it's been like almost, 15 weeks? So we're up to like 100 days now with some of these plants. This is the cabbage. Oh, I love looking at the cabbage. I love seeing the leaves curling and it doing its cabbage thing. So fun. So up to 100 days. So I should check to see if some of these have made it to their harvest dates or not. Some of them I think were like 120. That's actually why I staggered the start dates, because I kind of wanted them, you know, some of them were 70, some of them were 90, some of them 120. So I wanted them to have like different starts so they would all be ripe at the same time. And I think for the most part we're pretty darn close, except for that one failed batch of lettuce. My sad lettuce. If you didn't see the grow laps on that, I can have that up here. But these are the new lettuces that I just planted, and I think it might be time to start giving them a little bit of food. So these ones are looking pretty good. Okay, down to the leeks. Well, actually, it's the bunching onions with the 1 leek. But man, this leek, it's getting pretty big. I might need a leek recipe. And the bunching onion in the back. Look at the size of this bunching onion. Oh my gosh. And then there's, let me see if I can get the other one in there. This one is huge as well. I have actually taken to, this pepper plant is in the way. So I've been clipping some of the side leaves and using those because this onion is massive. So this is the latest set of pepper plants that I had done, which I can't remember what they were. They were like the snacking pepper and the Joe Parker pepper. They're doing pretty good. This one's got some flowers in it and little pepper. So I think this was the snacking pepper, and I think this was the Joe Parker pepper. So I guess we'll see. And then in the back, let's see if I can get to it, is the cherry tomato. Got some flowers going on. I don't see any fruit set yet, but try to go through. It's kind of in an awkward spot now. It's a little harder for me to reach, but I do try to make sure I come through and tap it for some pollination. It's putting out some nice little bushy side growth. This is actually a, well, it's a mystery cherry tomato. I got seeds from somewhere. But it's like a dwarf plant, so it stays pretty small. So this one will be great for in the Aerogarden. But it does put out a nice big fruit. So looking forward to that. This is the bush bean. And like I said last time, it is putting out new flowers. So this is just continuing on. Some of the older leaves, as you can see, it's a little hard to see with this light, but they're kind of getting all old and ratty. But then, I'm going to come down here, putting out some nice new growth. So it's just continuing to grow, and it's doing really well. I got one or two beans left over from the first set. I see at least 3 in there. There might be a 4th one somewhere, but so it's got a couple of beans left over from the first set. And now it's pushing out new flowers to put out another set. So that's pretty good. These are the peas, and they are still climbing like crazy, mostly down the wall and behind here. They're still putting out growth, so I'm not sure how long to let this go. Some of the, I don't know if you can see this, some of them have definitely started going to seed, like the pea inside has gotten really big. So what I've been doing is I've been harvesting these like this, but I've been popping the peas out and eating them just like peas. Although this first one here that I didn't quite get to, it's starting to dry out, so I'm just going to let that one go to seed and I'll just harvest replacement seeds. That's how that's doing. And then over here, got the strawberry plants are doing pretty good, although I think I've got some spider mites in here, not 100% sure. The cumin seems to be doing okay. Although I don't know why I'm so struggling so much with cumin this time. who knows? And I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but this will be probably the last update on this. I have a lot of it drying out at this point. I've been harvesting a lot of it. So there are actual sections that had seeds on it. I don't know if you can see that. And I've just pulled them off. So I do have them in a little container that I've just been leaving on top of the sprout here. And when I open it up, it's like, it smells like cumin. So that's actually really cool. I mean, I was hoping it would smell like cumin, but when you first harvest it, it doesn't smell like anything. So sitting in an enclosed container, it's really showing that, yep, that's cumin, and this has just been the coolest thing. So highly recommend. If you like cumin, this was a really cool project to do. And I think it was a total of, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, might have been about 4 plants in there. So, and then the ones that are in the harvest, those ones are doing really well too. I'll show you those in a minute, but yeah, they're doing really well. So a sprout, a harvest, either or. You could probably do them in a bounty if you really like cumin, but I don't know if I would want to tie up one of my bounties with cumin. But yeah, this will be the last update on this. The next time you hear about cumin, except for the one downstairs with all the other plants growing, is going to be when I do a complete grow lapse of how this one did and how many cumin seeds I got from it. So I don't know when that will come out, but hopefully soon, I think, because I've got a lot of these. Some of these are still sort of drying out, so that's why I'm kind of hoping it'll be soon, but I don't know when it will be. I have put a fan in the room so that I can start pushing a little bit of air around, get better airflow. And I think that'll help with the lettuce. So here is the lettuce and the spinach. This spinach seems like it's doing pretty good. It hasn't bolted yet, so I don't know why the other ones did. The lettuce, I like this lettuce. I can't remember which one this was. This was the green salad bowl, I think. It's really nice. This one's been doing pretty good. It's not quite as nice. It does have a little bit of browning on the tip still, but I put the fan on because of this. So there wasn't enough airflow, and I was starting to get some sort of like tip burn on the inner leaves. So it's kind of, ooh, this one's showing it up pretty badly. So, but it does restrict growth a little bit. And it's just unpleasant. It's not good for the plant either. This one got a little bit going on in the inside, but so I put a fan on just to see if I can help mitigate that. This spinach bolted. I really should just go through and cut these off. They're just covered in pollen, dropping pollen everywhere. I'm making a mess. This lettuce is looking really good. Again, these red salad bowl ones, they are so nice. I should just start growing a lot more of those. This is the kale. It's doing wonderful, although it is starting to max out its space. So I feel like 2 kale plants and a sprout is probably okay, but it is starting to get to the point where I'm going to have to be really on top of the growth if I don't want any problems. This red salad bowl is doing great in the sprout. I might actually need to put the light up a little bit more. Okay, I'll do that when I have 2 hands. One in the back is looking pretty good. I have not started harvesting from the one in the back yet, but I think it's ready. This one in the middle has just gone insane. Like, here, let me see if I can push the kale out of the way. Look at some of these leaves. Like, they're huge. Hard to show, but, I mean, they're big. I have been harvesting. I've been having probably about 2 to 3 salads a week. I've been having sort of like bigger meal-style salads. I've not been harvesting from these ones yet. They do look like they are starting to form heads. Kind of like romaine should. So this one I might actually go through, and as they get bigger, I'll just cut them at the bottom and just use the whole thing kind of as a head. But I want to see how big they'll get. Okay, and this is kind of the last set of lettuce here. Oh, I forgot to mention. So I came in here the other day with the vacuum cleaner, and I thought, oh, I'm going to be clever and I'm going to vacuum up some of the pollen. Yeah, I sucked the plant up. So my vacuum was a little stronger than I thought it was. So if you come through with a vacuum to clean up stuff like that, yeah, just be a little careful with the suction. Okay, so this is the last set of lettuce I have here. This one is growing like it is bolting. See, it's got that long stalk. I've noticed that the bottom of the leaves are starting to get more spiny. I don't know if I can really show you that, but I can feel that they're getting spiny. And that seems to be a sign of it bolting. And it's kind of doing weird things. But the other ones in here, other than the spinach, which spinach is obviously bolted, but the other ones are doing fine. I've been harvesting from them, except for, again, this bronze romaine. And then, let me push this out of the way a little bit. Things are starting to get bigger, so it's harder to see things unless I push stuff out of the way. So this is the bok choy, and I had one of them bolt on me, like completely unexpected. I did the update last week and I didn't even see this, and then like it was 2 days later I came in here and what? So I decided to just leave it. I could have eaten it. If I had caught it early enough, I could have, it kind of looks like broccoli. So I could have just cut it off and eaten it, but by then it had already flowered and done its thing, so. But I have been trying to harvest from these. I've actually, I don't know if you can see, I skipped a couple of leaves because they are looking yellow. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to skip them, but I might go through and pull them off too, because it'll kind of open things up and give a bit more room. This one in the back is actually looking really good. Boy, it's really tight in here. It's hard to show things because everything is just so close to each other. Oh, been a big poof of pollen. I really should just take that out. Hey, these are the mustard greens. And these ones, well, not only are they growing right up into the light, this one has apparently bolted as well. Oh, this one in the back. I had to push it off the light. So it definitely bolted. It's beyond where it can be used anymore. This one is probably bolting as well, but it's also got that calcium deficiency thing going on from lack of airflow. So that's one of the reasons why I got the fan going on in here. This little one in the front looks like it's doing fine still, and the bok choy is doing fine. Moving on to the kale. This kale is still young compared to the other stuff. The leaves still feel more tender. They are still smaller stalks, but it's doing really well. I have had to put the hood up a little bit. Probably need to put it up soon, but I have been harvesting from them. So there's a couple of them that I've been harvesting from. Some that I haven't. I don't think I've harvested from them. Oh yeah, no, I think I've harvested a little bit from all of them. So trying to spread around the harvesting, not just from the other ones in the sprout, but also taking a few from this one as well now. The cumin is looking awesome. Every time I come in here to add water, I try to come and tap the flowers just to try to make sure they get pollinated. I'm basically coming in here every day now with a full bucket of water and putting water in all of these. Some of these definitely suck down more water than others. Like celery. Oh my gosh, the celery. Every day I gotta put water in it. Here is the basil. It's doing pretty good, but it's still kind of looks spindly and weak. It's hard to describe. It just doesn't look very healthy. So the parsley always look good. I should just take this out. The dill, kind of a little disappointed in the dill. I mean, it grew fine, but it seems like it just feels like it bolted really early. Like I don't feel like I got that much use out of it. And this one in the back, I don't know if you can see this stem. It goes up, and then it goes back behind the hood, and then it goes all along the top there, and it is starting to flower. So I did save dill seeds from this particular dill plant once before, because I have grown, this is the Aerogarden seed pod dill. I've grown this, so I might go through and I might just start taking things down as they are going to seed like this, where I'm not going to be using them anymore. So I don't know, a lot of this has changed color, and it doesn't look like it's very good for using anymore. So I might go through, take this down, and then just put this harvest, back in the box and store it again. Because once spring gets here, pretty much in January, I want to start up a new series of getting the outdoor garden ready. So I'm going to need some shelf space in here. which is easier said than done right now. But if I can start taking things down like this dill that is just, you know, it's done, then that'll help me free up some space. But I want to get a whole bunch of seedlings going for the garden. Okay, and on to the leeks. Finally getting some in here that are getting to be a decent size down on the bottom here. They are growing up into the light, which I don't know that I can do much about that. I keep trying to pull them out, but they don't seem to want to go where I put them. So they're kind of, this is what we got. And I still don't understand why these ones did not get as big as the ones that are in with the onion. Or the one that's in with the onion. Maybe it just had more growing space. So this is the celery. This is the second batch that had the smaller ones in it. I have been trying to go through and pull out some of these ones that are the little ones on the bottom that have been going yellow. I'm trying to pull some of those out as I come down here and harvest other ones. I do have quite a few that do need to come out again. So, but it's looking really good. The cucumber. So I did finish up the cucumber that I harvested last time. This one is looking ready to harvest, so I will probably harvest that one up. And I do have a couple more that are starting to look like they have been pollinated and they're growing, but I don't know how long it'll take them. So I do think that it took me about 5 salads to eat that one cucumber. So this one will probably take me another 5 salads, so that's going to be, what, 10 days maybe? If I have one every other day, sort of depending. And I've been still getting powdery mildew on the leaves, so I have been trying to go through and deal with that. I don't know how much longer I'm going to let this one go. Because I do have some that are growing, but I might go through, I have some that I just missed on pollinating. I might go through and stop pollinating them, and the cucumbers I get over the next month or so, I'll let grow, and then I might take this one down too. Kind of been fighting with the powdery mildew. Been kind of fighting with the lid a little bit. I got some moisture in the lid. The cardboard got all wet. Cardboard is not a good lid, obviously, but it is what it is. Okay, this is the other celery. I'm trying to give you guys a little bit of an overview of what is going on with these shelves. They are so crowded. Everything is completely taken over. These celeries look awesome. Ones in the back. I have been harvesting the outer ones. So they're sort of standing up a little taller than the other set. And I do think that this one was also having that calcium deficiency problem. And so again, I was hoping that the fan would help with that. It does seem like this one resolved on its own, but you know, having the fan in here, I think it'll just help with airflow in general. It does get really humid in here, and it does get pretty warm, so it's probably why some of the things have bolted. Although, like the broccoli, we do actually want it to bolt. That's the point. So I took out, this is the second one that I showed before that had the smaller floret on it. So it did get big enough to harvest. So I did harvest it. And now as you can see, it's pushing out some of those side florets, kind of moving down. And this is how it's supposed to grow. So this one, this is the first one I harvested. And I came in and I harvested again from some of the side florets. So I just took off sort of the top part here, but left some of these other ones on the side so it could keep growing. Not quite sure the best way to harvest from these, but kind of doing what I can. So this one here, let's see if I can show this, it's kind of awkward. I would try to take the head a little higher up so that I can leave the little ones beside it, or I would let this grow so these ones get a little bigger and then harvest so that those ones underneath could grow. Sort of under where those leaves are, because there will be more under there. But the one back here has not started yet, and the one in the front here has just started. That's pretty cool. So I will have to eventually take that central one out so that all the side ones can grow. This is the first set of pepper plants that I grew. This is the big bushy one that got that big prune and just looks like it needs to be pruned again. So this one I had pretty and sweet, a snacking pepper, and something else. I can't remember. Oh my gosh. I just went through and tried to look up which ones I had in here, and I can't even remember again. Gotta label things better. The one in the back, you know, it was always a little bit smaller, and I think it's just being shaded out and just not getting enough light. But these other two, the snacking pepper, are these little ones that are growing up, or the pretty and sweet. These are pretty and sweet. This is the snacking pepper, I think, but they look like a jalapeno, so I'm a little concerned that they're going to be spicy, even though I thought I put in sweet peppers. Oh, I remember. This back one here is a baby bell. So I remembered. But yeah, so these ones I've kind of been waiting for them to change color just to see what they are. I don't know. We'll have to see. We will see together when it happens, whenever that may be. But my gosh, I can't get the camera in here, but let me see if I get that. Look at the size of this one. It is big. There's like a whole bunch in here. It's just incredible. I have been losing some flowers all over the place, and I don't know if some of that is airflow as well, so we'll see. This was another reason why I came in with the vacuum, to kind of get some of these little flower bits up off of everything. This week is cycle 1, so these will get fed, as you can see by the flashing red. So moving on, this is the last set of plants to show you. I'm going to give you a bit of an overview as well. These are the tomatoes and the mini jalapenos. So, the reason why I was looking back through some of my old footage was to figure out what these are. Like, they're obviously tomatoes, but, like, I don't know what kind they are. I thought, oh, maybe I planted something different this time, but no, I can't find any strange opened packages that might say what this is. So, and I am getting, oddly enough, because I thought this had enough calcium in it, looks like blossom end rot. I'm going to actually have to pick this, but I left this on here so I could show you. There's 3 of them. There's that one. There's this one beside it that, oh, the leaf is in the way. This one beside it. And then there was another one in this sort of same area. Let me see if I can, I can't see. But this one here, there's a leaf in the way. There's another one here. So, I'm going to have to pick those, which is a bit of a disappointment, but you know what happens. Some of the other ones are looking fine. So, I don't know if that was just a new thing. This is the mini jalapeno. Finally had to come in and put a trellis on, which is always hard to do after the fact and when they've gotten bigger. But I did had a little accident happen, and I had a couple of stems break off on this one in the back. I was trying to adjust the height of the hood, and the light came loose and fell off and broke a couple of the stems. So I've got plenty of flowers going on. Got some down there that are open, and I pollinated them. The one in the center is still a little smaller. This one's kind of taken over. It's really growing well, so I'm kind of afraid it's going to start shading out that center one, but I'll have to just try to keep on top of pruning, which I don't. And then this one, last but not least, I looked it up because I was getting them mixed up. This is the Roma and Amish paste. So this is the Roma, that's the Amish paste. Got some flowers going on. I kept getting them mixed up because this one was behind compared to the other one. And of course it's behind because I had to cut the roots and start rooting it again. So this one is the Amish paste and Roma. And that's why I'm not sure. The other one I'm pretty sure it's like a Roma type tomato. So it's either the Roma or the Amish paste. And the reason why I think that is because it has started putting out fruit, which does look like Amish paste or Roma. Sort of that elongated style. But I don't know what these round ones are. I don't remember putting in any cherry tomatoes on this one, and these are awful big for a cherry tomato. I guess we'll see. We'll see when they get bigger. It's like, in the end, does it really matter? It's a tomato, so. Well, that is this week's update. And there have been some pretty impressive growths. There's lots of stuff going on. I'm pretty happy with how everything is coming together. I do wish I had started some of the pepper plants a little earlier so they would be ripe with everything else, because then I could have them in my salads. But this is what we have, and I'm quite pleased with it. If you found this video useful, it would be really nice if you would like and share so other people could also find this video. And if you have any suggestions for some of the problems I've been pointing out, go ahead and leave them below. I would really love to hear them. I'm just not sure why I'm getting blossom end rot, or why, things are happening the way they are, but, it's a garden. Things happen. And we just have to sort of figure it out as we go and roll with it. And I will roll with it. But I will see you next time on the Aerogarden Homestead.